Folks, let's get this meeting started because I have a feeling we'd all love to go home. It is Monday, June 30th, 2025. The time is 6:02 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's a special meeting of the Holyoke City Council. And there's our city clerk. The clerk will call the roll.
Dennis Burgos?
Here.
Bartley?
Here.
Devine?
Here.
Givner?
Here.
Graney?
I'm here.
Jordan?
Here.
McGrath Smith?
Here.
Murphy Romaletti?
Here.
Ocasio?
Here.
Israel Rivera?
Not here yet.
Jenny Rivera?
Here.
Sullivan?
Here.
Bacon?
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
City Council. All right, so as usual, this meeting is being recorded on Zoom and on the city's live stream through Holyoke Media. It's also being live translated into Spanish, so thank you to our friends at Holyoke Media. And before I do anything, I would entertain a motion to take a roll call vote that for the purposes of this meeting would be applicable to all motions to receive, to refer items to the committee, remove items from the table, place items on the table, package items together, comply with items, or suspend the rules unless there is an objection.
So moved.
All of those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilor Bartley?
Yeah, I would just appreciate it if we could have a brief moment of silence for three individuals. One is for Butch Seidel's dad. Butch is our water commissioner. For Peter Lappin, who's a former state representative from Springfield. He's a huge supporter of the St. Pat's Parade in Holyoke. And then for Bob Boardway, who was the administrative aide to Rep. Bob Rowan for double-digit years, been a lifelong Elmwood guy. A moment of silence, please.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Councilor Graney.
could we also have a moment of silence for Patty Welch? She's the wife of former city messenger David Welch, who passed away.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. And before we start, happy fiscal New Year's Eve, first of all. I hope you're all working on your New Year's resolutions. And happy birthday to Councilor Bacon. Thank you for being here on your birthday. And early birthday happiness to, I did not realize we have so many birthdays this week. Councilor McGrath Smith's birthday is tomorrow. Yeah. My birthday is on Friday. Jeffrey's birthday is on Saturday. So, yeah, I know. I don't know what it is about us as cancers, but happy birthday to everyone.
Very nice.
And the birthday of America.
And America, which I do have to share my birthday with America, but there's no one else I'd rather share it with. So.
That's right.
All right, so this meeting has quite a few agenda items on it. The mayor actually called this special meeting, and yours truly gets to run it. It's my understanding that the first item on the agenda is either going to be given leave to withdraw or to keep it on the table until we have
Free cash.
that is, and I'll read it into the record, but that's item number 1. It was filed by Councilor Devine, ordered that there be appropriated by transfer the free cash balance certified by the Division of Local Services, free cash to capital stabilization.
I'll make a
Councilor
motion to
Bacon?
give it leave to withdraw because when it is certified, they'll come in with numbers.
With an actual number, yeah.
Thank
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded to give leave to withdraw. Is there any further discussion for now? Councilor McGrath Smith?
Thank you, Madam President. Just a question on if there is any update at all on this item.
I don't have an update.
Okay. Thank you.
The information has been submitted to the state as far as I know, but that's all I know. Do you have anything to add,
Just
Counselor
the
Bacon?
last update was provided at Finance Committee that the reports came out of, but it seemed like the estimate was maybe mid-July.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Devine?
I don't know if this is important or not, but I was ready to read a report from the Finance Committee that night, but if it's already been given leave to withdraw.
Yeah, we can just wait until there's an actual figure for us to vote on.
Okay.
So on the motion to give leave to withdraw item number 1, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So moved.
Okay. Item number 2 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred an order to Police Chief Keenan. What are the current procedures for cash seizures, specifically with Main Street? Recommended that the order has been complied with. Counselor Devine?
Yes, the police chief came in and we had a good discussion. We were certainly, I know that Counselor Jordan was concerned about Main Street and that fire station at Main Street. And from what the chief tells us, kind of a complicated matter. The owner, who is deceased, put everything in his mother's name, and that the DA in Hampshire County is dealing with this. It's also in probate or housing court, one or the other.
Yep.
So it's going to take a while. And he did talk about seizures in Holyoke, and that he does have money in an account that he can use. And Holyoke is in collaboration with other high-level task forces, and the Sheriff's Department is also involved. So we had a good meeting with the chief, and I don't know if anybody else has anything to add, but it was certainly complied with.
Anyone else? Okey doke. On the motion that the order has been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 3
Not
was
sure.
the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred an order that there be a transfer
while.
of $2,074.96 from patrolman to post stipend chief. Recommended that the order has been adopted. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, and receive and adopt the committee report and pass the second reading.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive the committee report and pass the second reading. Counselor Devine?
This is part of the chief's contract, and he gets a 3% for post-training school, if you want to call it that. So that's what that's about, his training, which is per his contract.
Anyone else? Okay. So on the motion to pass the second reading, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting to adopt the transfer request.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
yes,
Greenie,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
yes,
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, thank you. Item 4 is the Committee on Finance, to whom is referred an order that there be a transfer of $353,221.95 from patrolman to injured on duty. Recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, motion to receive and adopt the committee report and pass the second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive the committee report and pass the second reading. Counselor Devine?
And what we did was the chief came in and we kind of explained to him how these are filed. Instead of filing them all, and he thought it would be okay to file them all together because they were sergeants, lieutenants, captains, and he took it from the patrolman's item because that had the most money in it. So we did explain to him that in the future, it would be better to separate with each rank and how much time. They don't have to use names. So he was fine with that. So that order has been adopted.
Okay, that explains that. Is there anyone else to add? Okay, on the motion to approve the transfer, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting in favor of the transfer request. Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry. Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Greenie,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Item 5 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred an order that the City Council consider the possibility of structuring a standardized relocation bonus for positions with a residency requirement. Recommended that the order be given a leave to withdraw. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, I had checked with Lisa because it did appear to me that this could have been collective bargaining and no fault through Meg at all. There are some people that belong to the Professional Supervisors Union. They're the chief of police, the chief of the fire department. This also could have been in their contract, so that's why we gave it leave to withdraw.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, on the motion to give leave to withdraw, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 6 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred an order that there be a transfer of $3,075 as follows, from reference library assistant to custodian, financial manager, computer coordinator. Recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine?
Yep. Motion to receive and adopt the committee report and pass the second reading.
Motion's been made, and I think I heard a second. Thank you. To receive and adopt the committee report, pass the second reading. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, Maria was in, and this is to meet the payroll obligation now that the financial manager is working 35 hours a week, and it's within the budget, so it's just a simple transfer.
Anyone else? Okay, on the motion to adopt the transfer request, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting in favor.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Greenie,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Alrighty. With that, you've passed 6. Item 7 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred an order that the City Council accept the provisions of the DOE Energy Efficient CDBG 76,420 no match grant and authorizes the establishment of a fund. Recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine.
Motion to receive and adopt the committee report and pass the second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report, pass the second reading. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, Yoni was unable to attend, but he did give us a lot of information. This was from the U.S. Department of Energy, and it's for LED lighting upgrades in the police department, the annex, DPW building, and there's a voucher option with labor cost by electrical contractor, installation and disposal of old, and with the DPW and the HG&E. And Counselor Sullivan had a good point with that. It was filed in December, and he was wondering why it was coming up now. And the reason is because in early January, the award was one that the federal funding agencies, Department of Energy, rescinded, and then they brought it back 2 months ago. So that's why he's allowed to proceed with the projects.
Great. Anyone else? All right, on the motion to adopt and accept the grant, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting in favor of accepting item 7.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Greenie,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
That you have passed 7. 8 is the Committee on Finance, to whom is referred an order that the City Council accept the provisions of the fiscal year 25 Mass Department of Fire Services Safe and Senior Safe Grant, $9,799.85, no match. Recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine?
Motion to receive and adopt the committee report and pass the second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report, pass the second reading. Counselor Devine?
And Chief Katalevitz was online, and this is to, it's kind of a neat program that they have. They do coloring books for the kids, and they make students aware of fire education. They have backpack events so that the kids will get backpacks with certain things regarding fire, and also awareness of fire education, car seat checks, and events at the senior center. Lieutenant Pelchar goes to the senior center events, and she also gives talk on safety and fire prevention.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, on the motion to adopt the committee report past the second reading, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting in favor of accepting item 8.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Gavner,
Yes.
Granny,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Thank you, and we are joined by Councilor Rivera. Thank you for being here. I know you had I think it was a softball game that you had to coach for the girls tonight, so thank you for being here.
Thank you. It was our last game, yeah.
Wow.
Go team. Go sports. All right, so that was 8. And all right, 9 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred an order that the City Council review the fiscal year 26 paving program memo and consider how best to address our most pressing road work. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Devine?
Yep, motion to receive and adopt the committee report.
Oh,
and
it's
pass the
just, it's
second-
complied with. I know.
Forget
You're good. You're good.
I just wanted to, I'm not sure if everybody got a copy of this paving report.
Yes, we
So if
did.
you haven't, definitely see Jeffrey. It was very good. Victoria was here, the engineer, with Mary Monahan, and they came in and they had a great presentation of each one of these pages, as well as something online. And it talked about that there's 130 miles of roadway, and the average out of 100% being perfect in Holyoke, it's 71.9. So they did an analysis by ward, and if you look in this booklet, you'll be able to tell which ones are good, which ones are getting some paving done, and it was pretty interesting. So I'm sure that if there's any questions, you could check with Victoria, but this program is great.
Thank you. Councilor Sullivan?
Yeah, just for future reference, also, one of the striking elements in that report was basically if we don't start spending more money on preventive maintenance, we're going to spend a lot more money in the future because it's going to continue from that 71% a downhill trend. That downhill trend gets more and more and more expensive to do less and less miles of roadway. So.
Thank you. Councilor Bacon?
Thank you. I think the other thing that's important for our constituents to be aware of is that when they put requests for road resurfacing to us and we put it forth to DPW, each year they undertake an evaluation process. So while they will be aware of the requests, the list may change from year to year depending what happens from one year to the next. So it isn't a guarantee, but at least it's on the radar.
Totally.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Jordan?
Yeah, just to mention, to piggyback on Councilor Vacan's point, they're rating all of the streets. So when constituents make these requests of councilors or the mayor or whomever, they should also try and find out what the rating is for their particular street. So when they say, gee, why didn't my street get done? It took 5 years after this other street or something. They're theoretically going down with the Chapter 90 money, which is plus or minus $1 million, and they're taking theoretically the worst streets with the worst ratings. Just to give people a sense of where we stand today, the average rating of the city is around a 71, which is, they said, average to slightly below some of our neighbors around us. But some of the streets that you'll see that are pegged for this fiscal year, some of these streets have ratings in the 20s, 30s, 40s. Like, these are pretty low rated streets. So that's why they're getting priority over maybe a street somebody else thinks, because you could be making a complaint on a street that's 60, and in fact, the one that made the list is 38. And so there is a rhyme or reason to how they're picking these, and there's only so many based on the amount of money that we have. And we do try to also leverage not just our Chapter 90 money, but the project funds that we're getting that also help us to chip away at some of these. I'm still trying to, and I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually, how much that correlates to on average amount of annual spend on the project work. Like, for example, East Hampton Road was done, a section of Northampton Street, the Anniversary Hill Road that comes down, all around that area. That was project money. That doesn't come out of our Chapter 90. They're talking about redoing perhaps Maple Street coming up. High Street was redone. That didn't come out of Chapter 90. So we're trying to leverage all of these to address the correct point that Councilor Sullivan made, which is we can't let these things go to a certain point because it gets more and more expensive if we don't. Yep.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor McGrath-Smith, and then Councilor Devine.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to make the point that we, to the public as aware, in the meeting we asked if it was possible for the entire rating system to be made public and to be placed on the DPW website.
Right.
There was an indication, because I think it's information, and people, I think when you see where roads are rated, then you understand if it's likely for your road to be paved soon or not, because you can see where you are relative to other roads. And the other piece was, we had talked about sidewalks, and part of the proposal from the engineering department this year is that we take $100,000 to do the preventative work that Councilor Sullivan that talked about, doing the crack sealing in roads. And people from the public might think, well, why are they working on that road? They just paved it. Well, the crack sealing work is what you do in years 1 through 5 when it is a new road and you're trying to preserve its life so that it lives, so it's 25 years down the road instead of 10. So I think the public understanding why they're going to start seeing more crack sealing work done on newly paved roads. And then for sidewalks, $100,000 being put aside towards the non-CDGB areas, because right now, CDGB funding has primarily been used for sidewalk repair and replacement. And I think folks similarly, we asked if there was a rating system for the sidewalks and if that could be made public as well, because there may be an area where the road is great actually, but the sidewalks are not, right? It's not always done at the exact same time, although often it is. So that's good information too. And as soon as it's on the DPW website, I know councilors will make sure that their constituents are seeing it.
Thank you, Councilor. And Councilor Devine.
Yeah, I would definitely hang on to this printout because it's very, very good. One of the things, criteria for street selection, and then it talks about road surface rating, ward location, eligibility for potential alternate funding, and then it tells you how many miles of roadway in each ward and what the average road surface rating is. So if people call you, I think it'll be good to refer back to that. So do not throw this away.
Ever. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. It was a very good discussion that night, so I appreciate everyone's work. On the motion that this order has been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item 10 is the Committee on Finance, whom was referred an order that there be a transfer of $24,000 as follows. Hoisting operator to fuel depot. recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, motion to receive the committee report and pass the second reading.
Second.
Motions been made and seconded to receive the committee report and pass the second reading. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, the director, Mary Monahan, was in, and what this is, there's a, believe it or not, there was a spill going back to 1988. That is an assessment, excuse me, from the Mass DEP. The lowest quote that the DPW was able to get was the $24,000. And it's the environmental scientists that need to do this, to look into this. But it's actually from 1988, the spill.
Fun fact, I was
Better
not
late
born
than
yet,
never, I
so
guess.
yeah. Anyone else? Okay, on the motion to adopt the committee report and pass the second reading, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt item 10.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes,
Givner,
Yes.
Yes.
Brainy, Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
All right, with that, you've passed item 10. Item 11 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred an order that the amount of $1.5 million is appropriated for the purpose of financing the demolition, remodeling, reconstruction, engineering, construction, equipping, or re-equipping of various municipal facilities, purchase of municipal vehicles, including payment of costs incidental or related thereto. Further ordered that the mayor is authorized to contract for and expend any state aid available for the project. Further ordered that the treasurer is authorized to file an application to qualify under Chapter 44A of the general laws. And further ordered that there shall be no change in the purpose of this bond authorization without prior vote of approval by the Holyoke City Council. Recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine.
yeah, motion to receive and adopt the committee report and pass the second reading.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report and pass the second reading. Counselor Devine.
Yeah,
Oh.
Rory,
Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
If I may,
Yes.
just so we don't waste time.
Yes.
This one, I believe, is a duplicate and it's supposed to be sent back to the auditor. 12 is the new version that we're actually supposed to
I was
approve.
thinking these two were looking kind of.
Yeah. So 11 should be returned to auditor and 12 should be adopted.
I got you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
If you
much.
notice, it's carefully, but there is new language in 12 that's not in 11, and that was from Rory about specific projects, and that if the money isn't spent in the fiscal year, there's a further ordered section in the last paragraph.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this should actually be recommended that the order be referred back to the auditor.
11, yeah.
11.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion on 11? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So 12 is filed by Counselor Devine, that the amount of $1,500,000 is appropriated for the purpose of financing the demolition, remodeling, reconstruction, engineering, construction, equipping, or re-equipping of various city facilities and purchase of vehicles, including the payment of costs incidental or related thereto. Please see attached list for specific projects. To meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow said amount under and pursuant to MGL Chapter 44, Section 7, or any other enabling authority. Further ordered that the mayor is authorized to contract for and expend any state aid available for this project, and that the mayor is authorized to take any other action necessary or convenient to carry out these projects. Further ordered that the treasurer is authorized to file an application to qualify under Chapter 44A of general laws, any and all of the bonds or notes authorized to be issued pursuant to this order, and to provide such information and execute such documents as may be required for such purposes, and further ordered that this authorization is valid for projects initiated during fiscal year 2026, and there shall be no change in the purpose of this bond authorization without prior vote of approval by the Holyoke City Council. Councilor Devine?
Yep, this is, Counselor Jordan actually gave a good report on this. The treasurer and the mayor were in, and for item number 12, the treasurer can only bond if necessary for those items. Various city facilities, purchase of vehicles, payment of costs incidental and related thereto. And like I said, Counselor Jordan did give a good report on what we talked about that night. So, Kevin, if you want to.
Councilor Jordan?
Yeah, just to expand on that, there's a whole list. This is designed as a temporary measure, I should say, because we don't have our free cash, and they want to be able to order. There's a number of DPW vehicles. There's a number of police cars. The fire department needs some repairs to the roof at the main fire station. There's also a water leak of some form, either from groundwater or otherwise coming into one of the buildings. The fire chief also described that he needs the money to put the new tower at the Soldiers' Home, I believe, for the communications tower. They're hoping to not actually need to use this money, but if free cash, they're not sure how long that's going to take to be certified. They want to use this to get it going so they have access to funds that are liquid, and then they're going to use the free cash money, it's been described to me, to pay for this and then not need it.
Right.
So that's the master plan. So I think we should approve it to allow the mayor and the treasurer the opportunity to move forward on these needed items, because apparently it takes a long time to order the vehicles and all these things that they need and actually have them appear. So,
Thank you.
I think they're counting on these items.
Councilor Devine?
Yeah, I think that certainly encompasses everything, and I have to get in the habit, and I think other people will too. It's the Veterans Home now. You know, the new one will be called
I do too,
Veterans
yeah.
Home. So, but they're doing a great job. It's coming along, and the fire chief just needs to move that radio antenna up to the new building. So.
Yeah. Councilor Devine, do you have a motion?
Motion to pass the second reading
Second.
and approved.
Got it. Motion has been made and seconded to adopt the
Committee report and pass.
committee report and pass the second reading. The clerk will, is there any other discussion, first of all? Oh, is this a new order? Is this a totally new order, this one?
Which one?
I think so.
From 11, he made,
Because 11 was the one that actually got referred to committee.
We'll also take final.
So,
To the auditor.
so it would be a motion to pass the first reading.
good point.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Jeffrey, what a guy. All right, so the motion was to pass the first reading.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion to pass the second reading. Seeing no other discussion, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt item 12.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes,
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Acacio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, with that, you've passed 12. Item 13, Committee on Finance, to whom is referred an order that the treasurer and the auditor provide the city council with an update and timeline for the certification of free cash. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Devine?
I haven't gotten any information on the free cash, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure what we should be doing with this.
Did anyone have other? Councilor Jordan and then Councilor Bacon?
I'll take a shot at it. We had them in, we had a long discussion. we've got problems. Okay, we'll just euphemistically call it that, relative to the timeline and how things are getting certified. We were told there's a lot of communication breakdowns, but the treasurer feels that, he filed what he had to. There's some differences of opinion with the outside auditor and the auditor, and those are being worked through. The Schedule A has still not been filed yet. So, we'll take that for what it is. It is discouraging. We had a rather heart-to-heart conversation about it. It seems that they're trying their best, but we do have to get to a point where these things are done and done timely. I am told at that meeting, I believe, that the money that the state has been withholding because we didn't file the Schedule A, that they're getting permission from local services that they're going to release our local aid, even though we haven't turned in the Schedule A, because we haven't received local aid since February. And obviously, the thing I don't like about that is that hurts our cash flow. And number two, because it's about $8 million a month. And number two is we could be earning interest on that money, right? Which hurts taxpayers. So they did say they need some more time. They're hoping that they'll get this figured out over the summer, and that some point in the fall, they're going to be back to us with a free cash number. So, yeah, it's still not done yet. That part is disappointing, and hopefully we'll get this figured out and get to a point where we're in a good place. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Bacon?
Thank you. So the thing that was the most disappointing and upsetting to me was, one, that we were promised that we would have the free cash by the middle of June. That didn't happen. Then we were promised we would have it by the end of June. That didn't happen. And I just hope we really did get our state money today. We were told we would receive it today. So hopefully that has happened. And I think one of the bigger problems from this is that our taxpayers are facing yet again a really big tax increase this year based on the budget that was passed at the last meeting. And if our free cash had been certified timely, we would have been able to consider the use of it to relieve some of that burden. But as things stand now, we will have no ability to do that. It will only be recognized in the next fiscal year. And I just think that's unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, I just wanted to compliment the treasurer. He works really hard, and he's here all the time working on things that have backlogged before he even came here. So I just want to compliment him, and I know that Counselor Jordan did the same thing. So,
Counselor Graney?
Have our state reps been notified of this issue?
I'm sorry.
Have our state reps been notified if the state money has been held up?
I don't know.
You would know more about
Has anything to do with them?
About state stuff.
I mean, Velis, Senator Velis.
I think it has anything to do with that.
Yeah,
Representative Duffy,
I don't really think they can.
Those names didn't come up in the meeting, let's put it that way, so I don't know how.
Yeah.
I know, but maybe they could move it along possibly. Who knows?
Who knows? Counselor McGrath-Smith?
Thank you, Madam President. I will say that, again, I've not been here long, but these were the conversations happening last time. And we've worked really hard this year to figure out where to prioritize. We've been talking about the need to have a financial restructuring for a long time. And it's my sincere hope that the changes that we find a way to enact on council will be a part of the solution. It's clear to me that there are structural issues that need to be addressed, and part of it, we've started to address around, can we combine positions? Can we move the treasurer's position from elected to appointed? Can we make sure that we have the right people in the right positions? But I do believe myself that having the right people in our current positions will still not get us to good. that we do need some structural reform. So I look forward to seeing us work on this and continue to push it forward over the next few months. And I hope for the sake of our taxpayers that we're coming up with a finance department that functions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Bacon.
Thank you. I would note that our citizens have approved the appointment of a treasurer, and that includes the establishment of minimum criteria so that the person in that position walks in the door with the abilities to deal with the problems that exist in that office. And so that is a very important step for us to take from the get-go. Our citizens supported us on that, and we're positioned to move on that no matter what else happens. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, on the motion that the order has been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you, Finance. Okay. Item 14 is the filed by Councilor Jordan. Ordered that the following charter change be adopted. Charter Section 39, City Solicitor. Yes, Councilor Jordan.
I think the decision today was that this would stay in committee. So we're going to keep 14, so I would suspend the rules to take 14, 15, 16 as a package and keep them in charter and rules.
Second.
Okay, so are you guys okay with me doing an abbreviated reading of these items, or at least 14? So the motion was made to suspend the rules and take items 14, 15, 16 as a package and have them remain in charter and rules.
Correct.
14 is that the a charter change be adopted related to Section 39, City Solicitor. 15 is charter changes related to the Municipal Modernization Package. 16 is that the charter sections 19 and 34 be amended and elsewhere as appropriate to allow for all appointments to the Fire Commission and DPW Commission to be appointed by the mayor, subject to confirmation by the city council. Motion to leave these items in committee.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Madam President?
Yes. Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Likewise, does it make sense to keep tabled 17 through 24?
Second,
Seven,
or
Okay.
25,
They're tabled in council.
How about
I think 25 a new?
that's new.
25 is new.
Okay.
I would, if a friendly amendment to go 17 to 23,
Okay,
because I think there's a new plan on 24.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Happy to take that.
So yes, Councilor Bacon?
so 17 and these other items need to go back to ordinance,
Right.
Okay.
not stay on the table.
They're tabled in council.
They're currently tabled in the full council right now.
They've
Right,
already
but now they're amended.
Yeah.
Yes, Councilor
If I
Jordan?
may, actually, Counselor Vacan does raise a good point, because there is some, not a lot, but there is some amendments to 17 that have come through. So that we may not want to do that on the floor, but do it in ordinance. So you may want to do, Jeff can circulate it around, but we'll make sure you get it. But there were certain tweaks to 17. I don't know if the plan is to have, hopefully, this all back for our first meeting in August. So I don't know if ordinance is going to meet at any point before the first Tuesday in August. Hopefully Charter and Rules is too, at least once. And then we can punch through all these items. But and then I don't know if 25's coming in new. we might want to send that to ordinance.
Okay.
So I kind of think maybe just to keep them all together might be wise to just have 17 through 23 and then also item 25 and they all go to ordinance.
I'm fine with whatever.
If you're good with that, then I think that would be
So moved.
the cleanest way to do it.
Okay, so, yeah. What numbers? So
We can just take it item by item then.
17, we'll take 17 through
23
23
plus 25.
and 25. Okay, and those will go,
To ordinance.
Ordinance.
some of these are the Committee on Charter and Rules,
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Oh, I
like 20,
apologize.
21, 22. Do you want to separate them?
Yes.
That way?
You're correct. I apologize. 17, 18, 19, and
Those-
25.
and 25.
Ordinance.
Well, 21 is ordinance.
21 is ordinance.
21 is the copy that went to, I believe,
So charter and rules.
Charter and
That's
rules.
ordinance. It's in ordinance.
okay, so, for now, right now, first up, I'll do 17, 18, 19, and 25, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Send back to ordinance.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I will briefly read these into the record. 17 is the Committee on Ordinance that the City Council adopt the attached substitute municipal modernization ordinance. 18 is ordinance that the position of Chief Administrative and Financial Officer be created and added to Schedule A. 19 is that the Personnel and Law Department work in conjunction to update the following ordinances to reflect a modern human resource department. And 25 was filed by Councilor Jordan, ordered that the City Council adopt the attached draft ordinance establishing the role of parliamentarian of the City Council. So send to ordinance.
Ordinance.
Under discussion, Councilor McGrath-Smith.
So on process, thank you, Madam President. Every change that I proposed to the, municipal modernization ordinances that we've been working on, I made in a committee meeting in the general public, in a videoed meeting, filmed meeting. So it would be unclear to me that 17 was different from our agenda. I think in many ways, like an English teacher or like a librarian, if you put out a new version of a book, it gets a new ISBN number. It's a different book. I wouldn't know if I was a member of the public that 17 had changed if I hadn't been told that just now. And we're talking about a document that is substantial. It's thick. So I guess I would like to know, as a brief review, one, I think in the future we should be careful when there's something that is different, named the same thing but has differences, making sure that's clear. And secondly, I'd like to know, where did those changes come from? The treasurer? Did they come from the legal department? Did they come from a counselor? What changes are here? And where did those come from?
Okay. I have Councilor Jordan and then Councilor Bacon.
Okay, good question, and I'll give hopefully a good answer. First of all, nothing changed with item 17. The only thing I will say is that yours truly has a few tweaks to change.
Oh.
And if this was going to an actual vote tonight,
Got it.
it would have been put for you as an amendment to what was on the floor. So the document is exactly as you have it there, but there is an amendment package that will now be presented at the ordinance meeting so that ordinance can have that, and it'll be as amendments at the committee, which is one more reason it should go to ordinance. So that if we want to amend any of these documents, it's very transparent, it's at a posted meeting, it's all that good stuff. Every other point you make is correct. So that is what's going on. So,
Thank you.
yep.
Thank you. Counselor Bacon?
Thank you, and that's why I amended the motion to send it to committee.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep,
Takes a village. Okay.
exactly.
Any other comments? Questions? Okay. We're going to send these back to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alrighty. Then
So,
go back to what, 20?
so 20, if I may, Madam President?
Yes, Counselor Jordan.
20, 21, 22, 23, and the late files that the mayor was gracious enough to have the law department put together, which is late files 26 through 32, all of those items to charter and rules.
Second.
Okay. So, okay, 20 is Committee on Charter and Rules referred in order that the city create an administrative and finance department. 21 is the Committee on Charter and Rules was referred in order that the city council adopt the attached substitute municipal modernization ordinance. 22 is that the city of Holyoke amends any charter, ordinance, or any other regulations relative to its tax collector and combines the office with the city treasurer. And 23 is charter and rules, that we update our code of ordinances and charter to reflect use of email as sufficient for special meeting notice. 20, okay, and then 26 is filed by Councilor Jordan, ordered that section 13 of the charter be amended using the attached language. 27 is ordered that section 14 of the Holyoke Charter be amended using the attached language. 28 is ordered that section 22 of the charter be amended using the attached language. 29 is that section 24 of the charter be amended using the attached language. 30 is ordered that the section 41 of the Holyoke Charter be deleted. 31 is ordered that section 49 of the charter be amended with the attached language. 32 is ordered that section 53 of the charter be amended with the attached language. Is that it? Okay.
That's it, yep.
And these were filed by Councilor Jordan, and the motion is to suspend the rules to take these items as a package and refer to Charter and Rules Committee. Any other discussion?
Just for brief
Councilor
discussion,
Jordan and then
if I
Councilor
may.
Bacon.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want everyone to be aware that the view was we wanted to everyone be comfortable to review all these things, that you have ample time to have all legal forms, so not to do this tonight, but with the goal of, although we don't want to lose momentum on a lot of these things, to actually take the votes at our first meeting in August. And we have another opportunity to have one more round in the committee to go over anything anybody wants to go over at the committee, and we can have a meeting for that purpose. So the goal is still to maintain our momentum on putting this extremely comprehensive package of reforms together, but to have everybody feel comfortable on process and timing and ability to review everything in order. And I appreciate everybody, the president, the chairs, the mayor, the treasurer, the law department, everybody involved for the hard work and working through and putting these things together. So I appreciate everybody's efforts, and we really are making great progress, and we're getting there. So thank you.
Thank you. It's taken 10 years off my life. Councilor Bacon and then Councilor Rivera.
So, a point of information, on these late filed orders.
Yes.
We do not have the language to review yet, correct? I don't,
You do.
Jeffrey circulated.
we have it in front of us now?
They're attached to item 15.
15?
Because I was looking for mine too, I couldn't see it.
Okay. All right, attached to item 15.
Yep.
There was a lot of paper.
There's a lot of
I wanted to make
paper.
sure I knew which
Yes,
one it was.
totally. Glad you asked.
Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Israel Rivera?
My question is similar. Is that online or is that only in person that you have all of that language? Because I don't have any of that.
So you do have it via email. Jeffrey did send it out to everyone. It is
I only
there.
have in the email the late file. It's like
It-
26. Like
it
30
was
something,
sent-
But that's all I know.
Okay, it's hard for me to hear you, but it says it was sent on Thursday by Jeffrey as item
Okay.
15. And there are hard copies on your desk here that we can get to you.
Hello.
And tell your daughter that we said hi.
Yeah, we'll say hi.
Gavo, what's up, girl? All right. So, anyone else? Okay, so sending these items to Charter and Rules. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then that leaves 24. Okay, so item 24 is the optional Central Finance Department budget. Counselor Jordan?
I have a friendly suggestion for the body on this one, that this be sent back to the mayor. And the premise of that motion is that we've already completed now our work relative to the budget. Our 45-day window is now complete under the law. The budget is what the budget is. The mayor's intention is that he intends at the August meeting to add a supplemental budget to the agenda to fund the finance department if we pass all those items on our first Tuesday in August. So you will see a supplemental budget, which is after a passed budget occurs, he will come in with a supplemental budget. He's done these in past years. And that's what we will then vote on if we pass the central finance department. So that's the plan that the mayor has laid out, and I think it's wise at this point. So I would make a motion, as I stated, to send this is the old version back to the mayor and await his supplemental.
Okay. Anyone else? Counselor Bacon, go for it. It's your birthday, you go.
Just one quick comment. If indeed we are to be realizing savings by this consolidation and improved efficiency in government, should this pass, we should be able to fund it by transfers in the current budget rather than needing to add more expenses to the taxpayers. Thank you.
Thank you. And Counselor Rivera, is that a new hand up or is it just still up? I think it's still up, personally.
I'll go with
Okay.
that.
Well, with that, the motion was to send to the mayor, item 24. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Well, you guys are giving me the best birthday present ever.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. And
next
motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yes. Stay cool, everybody.